I'm a chartered occupational psychologist. My specialism is around the areas of selection and training, particularly team development. And as Jonathan said, I was brought in to help run this project for the RAF of the Army, and that basically involved training their own trainers, their own instructors, to become better. So that was rather a tall order. I designed a 2-day workshop around coaching techniques using neuro-linguistic programming and advanced instructional techniques. And that course has run 4 times now, 3 times with the RAF and once with the Army.
The other project that might be useful to share with you is some work that we've been doing with the police, one of the police services within the UK. Again, this is around coaching and working with the police driving school, helping them and their driving instructors to use coaching as a technique to improve the driving skills of police officers, particularly around pursuit, but also on their protection work. And so the course has focused on setting clear objectives and then using Socratic questioning techniques to help the officers to think about their risk-taking behaviour and the way they interact with other road users. And what the police are doing is then using some of those techniques which are new to them to combine with their existing instructional techniques, both making the training more effective and hopefully also making the learning process more enjoyable for the participants.
The other project that I want to talk about is with the Department for Children, Schools and Families, or the DCSF, and we've just won this contract. It's for 20 workshops, each involving 20 teachers from 10 different local authorities, and the idea of this is to train teachers into having better conversations with the parents of children with special educational needs and disabilities. So it's largely a counselling kind of intervention. And the idea is that we want to try and enrich the conversations that teachers have with the parents of those kinds of children.
If I talk specifically about the work that we've been doing with the police service, I think it's been of benefit to them to think about adding new techniques to the way that they instruct and develop police drivers. And the feedback that we had from the project was very positive, and we're now talking to a number of other police services within the UK about how we take that model that we've developed within one force into other police forces. For our own perspective, then clearly that's very helpful that we can bring that knowledge and experience of work with organisations back into our teaching. So that's useful for the students to hear about case studies, examples of our practical work, and it's also useful in terms of our publications that we can then work on that to publish some of these as case studies or evaluation studies.
And as far as the armed forces are concerned, with the Army and the RAF, I think it's benefited them because I've been working with instructors who have been working for a number of years instructing and training raw recruits often. And there's been a very big culture shift within the armed services away from command, instruct, direct and tell towards coaching and facilitating and helping young people who are new entrants into the armed forces. So I think it's benefited them. They've learned some new techniques, they've had some new awareness, if you like, of what they're doing, and also trainers are often forgotten. So to develop trainers is actually very important. As far as transfer back to my job, I just think it enriches everything that I teach. I teach mainly around selection and training and development, and to be able to bring that kind of material back into the classroom, literally as it happens, live, is very powerful, very good for the students, very good for me.
It enriches the job that I do as a lecturer. It gives me the opportunity to broaden the activities I'm engaged with, and I would also say that I think that it enriches my personal development, that I'm able to get out there to the real world and do some cutting edge work with organisations, which influences my publications and influences the work that I do with students. The students really get a good deal from hearing about those experiences.
It validates what we think we know about our discipline. It's a very interesting area, occupational business psychology, and to go out and to apply what we think we know and to see it succeed and to see people out there develop and to realise and recognise that as academics we have an important role in industry and in organisations is a very powerful message for me.